My name is Jenna-Paul Loren Nielsen, and for Mother's Day, I thought, what is the one thing that I miss so much about my mom? Well, except for her great sense of humor and her adventurous ways and teaching me always to be self-confident as a woman, I miss her Dutch babies. A Dutch baby? No, we're not adopting children from all over the world. A Dutch baby is a pancake my mother used to make when she had her bed and breakfast, and it's oh so good. So for Mother's Day, Mom is with us today to make a Dutch baby. Everyone, I'd like to introduce you to my mother, Marcy.
Okay, I'm Jenna-Paul's mother, and I'm going to show you kind of an old family recipe. It's Pennsylvania Dutch, but basically that means it's German, and it's just a pancake. The secret, though, is have everything ready to go. The ingredients in it are primarily a cup of milk at room temperature, 6 eggs at room temperature, a little bit of sugar, and your flour needs to be sifted. So I'll get those all ready to go in 1 minute. The most important thing, though, is have your pan ready, and your stove has to be preheated to 450 degrees, and that's hot, hot,
So now if I don't have sifted flour, Mom, what do I do?
Very few of us have an old-fashioned flour sifter, so I suggest you just use a fine screen drainer, put your flour in it over a bowl, and just tap the sides till it's all come down through it.
And what
That
does
makes it very
sifting
light.
and what does sifting the flour do?
It makes it much lighter,
Oh,
and it
fantastic.
refreshes it as well.
Thanks, Mom.
One of the most important facets is that your oven is hot and your pan is in the oven warming before you start. Okay. Depending on how you want to mix it, I tend to use a blender, but there's several other tools. You can use an old-fashioned mixer, or you can use a tool like this, which is a deep blender.
So I add my 1 cup of milk to the eggs that we've just made frothy. I love the taste of almond milk. And should I mix it?
No, we're going to put in the flavoring and the cinnamon.
So now I'm going to put in the cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon, and the flavoring. That would be the pure vanilla extract.
Okay. Teaspoon of vanilla. Mix for a moment and then add your flour gradually.
Now I'm going to add the flour. And as Mom always says, be sure to add it gradually, little by little. Sometimes I only add half of it, mix, and add the other half. Let's do that now.
Pull your pan out of the oven, place in your butter, and put it back in the oven.
Now it's time to take our pan out of the oven. It should be at 450 degrees, and the pan should be at the same temperature, because now we're going to put some butter on it to sizzle. Don't forget, as Mom says, always use a mitt. Now, that 5 tablespoons of butter, right in there. And the best thing to do is just to roll it around so that it evenly covers your pan.
Pour your mixture into the very center, and you'll find that it spreads out perfectly. Right in the center. Okay. Now, I'm going to place it back in the oven.
I'm
and
always
time it.
one about safety first. And that I tend to be a little bit forgetful. Be sure to set your timer if you're like me. So she said to give it at first 10 minutes and then check back. So Mom, according to Sunset Magazine, the Dutch baby started in Seattle in a family-owned restaurant. When did you first come across the recipe?
Well, we've known of this recipe in our family for a lot of years. I think the reason that we like it is because it's something you make quick in the morning with nothing but eggs and flour and milk. It's very pretty when it's a nice presentation in the morning. You're talking about it's spring, the sun is shining, and this is one of the prettiest presentations I've seen for a breakfast meal. I'd suggest you might get going with some fresh fruit, but since I only have a few things like a banana and some raspberries, I often use just a tropical fruit in the can. I've drained this one. You'll see what I have here. Pineapple, mangoes, peaches. This should be good, but you want to get as much moisture out of it as you can before you put it I've drained the fruit. Baby. Sometimes I'll use a paper towel just to get most of the moisture out. I'm adding some fresh banana slices, and in about 10 minutes, my Dutch baby should be hot out of the oven and ready for the next step. Now is not a bad time to be putting your dishes away and your supplies, so it'll look great when you serve it.
You'll know the Dutch baby's done when it looks just like mine. See how it's high and rised up on the sides with a golden brown around the rim. That's it. And just to be sure, when you take it out, just jiggle it one little bit and make sure there's no liquid inside. See? No liquid.
Now you scatter your fruit on the center and close to the
We
sides.
put our fruit on top and we have
So
scattered
please notice
it around.
as you scatter the fruit around, it should be evenly distributed.
Now that you've got your last topping, it will be the powdered sugar we spoke of in the beginning. Just scatter it along the top as it makes a beautiful garnish. And
it
so now you
tastes
can
great,
see
too.
we've made the simple cuts along as if it was a pie. And it's ready to serve. So if you're lucky like I am today, let's serve it up and have a little something sweet to
Okay.
eat. Action. So Mom, I've sliced it like a pie and I've served it on a plate. Anything else I should keep track of?
Well, it'll probably take you about as much time to make this as this video takes to watch. But here's what mine looks like on the plate. And I like to serve the powdered sugar in a shaker when I can, so people can add more later if they like it a little sweeter. I have one message for you. Thank you for my lovely teacup for Mother's Day. I'm going to sit down with a little cup of tea and enjoy my afternoon. See you later.